night that we opened it and I had a short talk to introduce the work, a woman came and spoke to me who was friends with somebody who used to go up in a spotter plane. He described a school of sardines that was 5 miles wide and 7 miles long. And just imagine, it's staggering actually to imagine the abundance that once was. So I hope that people think about that as well. It's part of it. They just made beautiful pieces that become this immersive sound and projected result.
Hi everyone, welcome to Flourish Fest. Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à Flourish Fest. My name is Jousse. Mon nom est Jousse. I'm a poet, DJ and also make music. Je suis une poète, DJ et je fais de la musique. Today I'm going to read to you 2 poems, one in English and one in French. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous lire 2 poèmes, un en français et un en anglais. Profitez bien. Enjoy. Sunkissed Lesbian. She walks down the street from the beach. Sun sets slowly onto her shoulder, kissing her sensually. Drops of dew glisten, fresh on her brown skin, turned golden by the summertime. She feels pretty. She does not need a summer tan, but she wants to make her the prettiest of them all. So she sets a glow on her cheek and along the way down her neck. She sprinkles golden glitter on her path, asks wind to caress the excess heat away and make her lightened curls below like ethereal smoke. She stretches her lips into a smile, happy to see the evening hues that she painted for her eyes, hues painted on the sky that paint her and her silhouette, like a cape draping her majestically. Tired after embellishing nature's masterpiece, Sun slowly falls asleep, dreaming of her golden girl, lulled by the image of their embrace. She slowly kisses her one last time and plunges in the dark mantle of her bed. Lassitude d'une journée d'été. Allongée, je me laisse bercer par l'eau douce et fluide du lac artificiel. Les chats paresseux se la coulent douce sur les rives. Le soleil me borde comme un père aimant, aidé par le miel réconfortant de ses rayons qui m'embrassent. Empli de sommeil et entouré de douceur, je rêvasse. Ne rien faire, c'est la belle vie. J'accoste un rondin flottant. Le bois brun me brûle. Des guêpes crevées se laissent porter, le cul à l'air, comme une menace contre l'envahissement d'espace personnel. Je les comprends, il fait trop chaud pour tout contact. Une de leurs congénères, encore pleine de vie, n'est pas d'accord. Je sens un chatouillement pénible sur mon pied. Elle se délecte de ma sueur sucrée. Te lécheras-tu aussi les babines à la saveur de l'eau chlorée ? La cruauté de mon geste, autrement dérisoire, noie son bourdonnement. Pris de dégoût, le soleil s'enfuit pour laisser paraître des couleurs criardes d'un ton accusateur. Le rouge marque la fin des lassitudes d'une journée d'été.
I told my family that I'm trans, and we're all fine, if a bit overwhelmed right now. I had a nightmare where I started transitioning, and that they would abandon me if I didn't stop. I wondered why Grandma wasn't in the dream, and what she would say if she knew. I found this old recipe in a stack of notes, and found my answer. I think if she could accommodate my life-threatening allergies, and all my other quirks, I think she'd accept any life-affirming procedures. Okay.
Hi, I'm Emma, and these are 3 poems on resilience. Resilience, ? 1. Japan takes broken pottery, puts it back together with melted gold, renders the pottery more beautiful than before. Amy's boyfriend smashes her window before leaving, then returning, with gold. Chocolate coins melt in your hands anyway, and Amy brightens. Patched up with dollarless coins, gold foil. Looks, upon first glance, to be beautiful once again. Smash the thing once, twice, render it more beautiful than before. Break the thing once, twice, you will love it more. Resilience, ? 2. I say, Amy, you deserve more than a man with his own name tattooed on his back. She says she knows. Of course she knows. I still sleep with men who bitch for not sending pics, men who, you're not even that pretty anyway, for saying no, who, oh yes, I know you like it, for saying nothing, who take but take gently when I'm silent, but who rip, pull, tug, take because they can when I say no. Of course, I know Amy knows. Resilience, really. Amy and I, 12 years old, walked home to watch movies all afternoon. Put our first tampons in together, her on the counter saying, you go girl, and hunched over the toilet, I, part crying, part laughing, repeat, you go girl. Cry after our first kisses together. Write in my diary, I am not a lesbian. Not a lesbian. She holds me, says, it's so okay even if you are. Cry when her aunt kicks her out of the house, when they say they don't love her. I hold her, say, I love you. Cry when she moves, realize the people I love can really leave. But our semi-annual phone calls are still Amy and I, 12 years old, watching movies all afternoon.
Leviathan. It's an elsewhere place, you say to me. The sugar from the iced coffee I had earlier turns my okay into a slippery version of itself that sounds somewhat like a frog croaking. You're usually a millimeter away from bursting full laugh, but as you lead me through the boreal forest, your unusual seriousness digs a new cavity in my abdomen and fills it with acid. You and I wade through the ferns and mosses and tamarack trees that separate your parents' housing division from the highway. I blindly, you with purpose. Say, you and I meet here once in a while, dunno. Can kind of forget the way the world fucks everything up. This whole year, you've made your plans clear. You want to become a police officer, like your father. This is ironic, considering the amount of Mr. Freezes we'd stolen from the corner store as kids. I had told myself that the moment you begin training will be the moment we stopped hanging out. At least to the extent we had been for the past 18 summers. And I've made this clear to you. Told you how I don't support the police as an institution. You've always brushed it off. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do in Thunder Bay, then? As kids, we ran naked through this bush together. Recently, I've noticed the space between us filling with layer upon layer of difference. The acid in my abdomen moves on its own accord. Soon, trees and moss taper out into a clearing that I don't remember. In the middle of this clearing is a rusting trampoline, vines and ferns tangling themselves around the metal legs and through the iron springs that surround the black mat. Drying leaves fade in the center. I'm sorry, you say. I'm surprised. Who built this here? Why in the middle of a boreal forest suburb division? But instead of surprise, you must be reading a now familiar version of upset. I'll get a job at Walmart or whatever, and then I step past you into the clearing. I pull myself up onto the trampoline. It creaks under my weight, so I roll over top dead leaves towards the center of the mat, where the material is so loose it contours around my shape. If we tried hard enough, we could hear the transports on the adjacent highway, or the kids growing up in the suburb. But in this forest, on this trampoline, I think the two of us let the world go quiet. I watch as you take your clothes off, piece by piece. I see your ass for the first time since change rooms in grade 9. I hesitate, but when you join me on the trampoline, here, deep in the boreal forest, my body and mind revert back to the way they used to be. Shortly after the acid brewing inside of me splashes out, leaving a globular stain on the trampoline's black mat, we are putting on clothes, thoughtful of our disconnected futures after graduation. But while we walk side by side back the way we came, I can't help but feel the space between us open up. I relax, both right there and with the thought of our elsewhere. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sara Marie Nason, and this poem is called Fairy. When we met, she was a sun-drop, sun-kissed sunshine, stars bolted to her eyes. Every day a flick of color to paint the marrow of my bones and warm, cold toes. Meeting her and knowing her and loving her was like finding the hatch to a fantasy world. I could rest my head to the music of her nails on dusty keyboards. I could hold her to my chest without her body crumbling through my arms. If I could, I would necromancer smile from the downstairs dumpster and watch her fingers dance through pages again, fall asleep to the secrets in her giggles. Instead, she tells me healing isn't linear. Her dirty fingers shake, untwisting the empty pill bottle. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait. This is called Policy Around Poverty. Take me to the vegan leather, hardwood floor, 3-story HomeSense ad living room of your life. Place me round the table in an ergonomic swivel chair. Force me to speak a language you'll understand. Our tongues clash. Mine rests heavy with mildew. Yours dry cleans encounters with chlorine and bleach. You catch my gutter syllables mid-air and pop them, like dollar store soap bubbles from last year. My words mean nothing until you can scrub them and melt raw and censored into an appetizing form.